So, hi everyone. I'm Kimberly DiPersia. I'm the artistic director of All the Line Studio and Incubator. And we have our Next Step Screenplay Series for this month, which is Emerald Beach by Tina Sacco. And we have Tina here actually to answer questions about her screenwriting process, a little bit about herself, and tell you a little bit more about the screenplay. So, Tina, thank you so much for joining us. Um, if you could just let us know just a little bit about your writing background and what drew you to writing and that type of thing.
Well,
So.
I have always loved to write, sometimes to the detriment of my parents. I wrote a demand for an allowance, I think, back when I was in second grade, and they kept that. The party of the first part asked the party of the second part for whatever. Um, so that was actually how I got started. But in writing for TV, for film, I actually started writing spots and promos and PSAs, and did that for quite a bit. And then a friend of mine was a teacher at the Hollywood Screenwriting Institute. And I got to learn a lot that way. And then, of course, through a lot of books and everything, a lot of self teaching. Back when, and this will probably date me, you had to write on a word processing system. They did not have Final Draft. They did not have Screenwriter. They didn't even have Scriptware back then. So you had to do all of your margins measured out yourself,
Oh,
which was
wow. Yeah.
lovely when
Old
you had to go
school.
back in and do revisions.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
Um,
very old school.
oh, yes, 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 yes. So I was doing that, doing a lot of script typing for some other people who were writing scripts, and then started editing their work, saying, "No, you can't put that in there. No, you don't want to do that. That's not how it goes." So it was a bit of a progress that I went from that to writing my own scripts. I started with an adaptation, and then came Emerald Beach, and I've got another couple that are sitting in the, I would call it a slush pile, that I have in various stages, but don't want to see the light of day yet.
Well, we're glad that you brought Emerald Beach out of your slush pile to us.
Well, thank you so much for having it.
Of course, of course. And if you can just let us know your inspiration for Emerald Beach, like what was your inspiration? Like what started that spark of an idea?
Okay. Well, as you may know, I am a bit of a science and history nerd,
Hmm.
and there is so much that is available now that truth is stranger than fiction. And we have so much more information that's coming available through new tools and resources, people that never wanted to talk about their experiences before. It's just a plethora of opportunities to put together stories. And I was talking one day with a couple dear friends of mine, Belle Davis, who's a native Floridian, and Joe Weckerly, who is a prolific screenwriter in his own right. And we were discussing history. We were discussing World War II and Florida's history, and both the uh, originating item in the story, the experiments in Poland, and submarines off the coast of Florida. A lot of these things that are woven into the story actually happened. And so, of course, you come up with the standard question: What if? What if somehow they were connected? And so that's how the germ of the story got started. And then it was fleshing it out with the characters, with knowing that nobody is actually as they appear to be to us. Everybody, every single person has stories, they have experiences, they have dreams, hopes, hurts that they've kept from people. We see somebody in one moment of time and one aspect of their lives, but there's always so much more beneath the surface.
I love
And
that. Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think each and every character, pretty much, that is in this story has layers, like an onion of different layers of what's happened in their past, what their dreams and um, what they want to see happen, or it's something that comes forth hopefully as you go through the script. and can see that.
I 100% agree. Like really thinking about all your characters, every single one of them has either a secret or some type of past that they might not know about, right? Everyone has something that is revealed throughout. I didn't think about that until you mentioned it. And it is so true that as individuals, we have our self that we present to the world, but underneath we have this dense history of things that have happened to us in our lives that, you don't necessarily meet, talk to when you're shaking someone's hand for the first time and go like, "Oh, by the way, these are all the things that happened to me." There's a lot of things that we don't reveal and probably never reveal to people, certain people in our lives, and maybe you only have a couple people you might, be your confidant, or some people go their whole lives never telling anyone, So I really like that complexity of history. So you're delving into all this like history of like the mystery of like what happened, and in the story, but then you're also dealing with the history of what happened with characters as well. So it's
Yeah.
yeah. That's excellent. And as far as so yeah, you do really delve into like the history of world. I had no idea that, Florida has a history of World War II that happened. Because it's so distant from Europe and even like Japan and all of that. So to think about it actually in our backyard, so to speak, is so
Oh,
fascinating.
yeah, it is absolutely fascinating. Everything that is coming to the surface, and as I said, even with the tools that are available now, like lidar and um, the different types of excavations that they're able to do and reconstructions.
Hmm.
Thank God we have a lot of great stations, the History Channel, and there's American Heroes Channel that does some great documentaries. There's some fabulous books out for those that want to learn, that those who like discovery. There's so much between history and science. Uh, Trying to come up with a story, I mean, it's right there. And the
Hmm.
truth is stranger than fiction a lot of times. A
That's
lot of mysteries still unsolved.
yeah, and then you can create wonderful fictions or like the what ifs from
Yeah.
that, which is what you've done with this story, which is so cool. I mean, I feel like it's so gripping. I feel like every single point along the way, I'm like, what's gonna happen next? And you do a really good job of slowly like revealing secrets bit by bit, enough where there's not like a full like everything's revealed. It's like you get a little taste of something and you get another clue and you get another clue. And so as the audience, you're slowly figuring it out as the characters figure it out, which I not everyone is able to do that. A lot of times, I find that things can be a little predictable where you're like, "Oh, well, I saw this a mile away." Here you're like, oh wait, no, wait, this is new information. This is new information. So I think our audience is going to be very much entertained and hooked along the way, trying to figure out what's happening, what the truth is, So
Oh, I hope so. I hope everybody enjoys it.
I'm sure they will. Now, how did you come across All the Line? Like, what was how did you find us?
Actually, a friend of mine who was, she has a great history as a trick writer and doing a lot of equine stunts and animal trainer, has just gotten back into the film industry a little bit and doing extra work over on the other side of the state. And she came across your posting for uh, 10 page 10 pages of a screenplay, which was your first steps back in February. And she sent it to me because it said something about that you were looking for female writers. And it's like, well, I'm a female. I've got something written. I can put something in. And she's been such a good friend over the years. It's like, sure, most of these things that she's probably looking at may not have any real backbone to them. As we both know, there are some people that have a clue about a plan, about a story, um, and they put out calls for writers or and they don't have anything to work with. I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll try this. And then I looked you up online and I thought, oh, well, this really is something solid. This is a good group of people. And then when I went to meet with you in February when we did the 10 pages, I was delighted. I just so many talented people, and what you want to get underway and what you've been doing just over a couple of years has been tremendous. And I heartily applaud you. It's a lot of work. People have no idea how much work goes into these.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It is a lot of work. Yeah. But yeah, that was our, so for those of you that are tuning in, that was part of our cold reading night. So back in February, we did the first 10 pages of different scripts, because, it's kind of like industry standard. You want to hook someone in the first 10 pages, as people read scripts. And so we had this wonderful cold reading night, and we had our audience pick their top favorites at the end of the night. And Emerald Beach was one of our top three favorites. You were number two. So it went Dead Camels, Emerald Beach, and then Kingdom City, which we're actually doing next month. So it was so exciting to hear from the audience to be like, no, I want to know more, like what happens next. And so we're so excited to put the full length on our next step stages for that. And yes, thank you for responding to the ad. We were really looking for, we're trying to promote diverse voices. So, especially like female writers really want to get more scripts and screenplays into the mix with that. So we're so excited that you submitted, Emerald Beach to us so that we could read it and put this out there. So, what are you most excited with the reading? Like what's the thing that you're most excited about seeing in the production or the process for this next step?
Oh, I think getting it all out there to see with the characters being portrayed and see the audience response. You always want to see your audience response. And I've been very, very encouraged by the response that it's gotten already from the wonderful talent that you have and the collective that is part of All the Line. Um, would love to get it to the point where there's funding to be able to actually do the film. And especially, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I do have several roles in there for more mature actresses who always seem to get the short end of the stick in today's production world.
Oh yeah, 100%. And what's great is we have so many talented older actresses in our All the Line collective. So it like reading the script and being able to say, oh, we can give this to this person and this person and this person. Thank you for creating those roles because I do agree that there tends to be a drop off, right? As women get older, the roles of the richness kind of drop off. So you've created such fantastic roles for our older actresses to bite into for this production. So thank you for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well,
So,
awesome. Yeah. One question that we just to circle back, did you end up getting an increase in your allowance from your letter to your parents?
along with extra chores, yes.
So it was like not what you were exactly hoping for. It came with more caveats, but you did get it. So that's successful. That's your first success, right? But maybe indicative of life, right? You have to work to get more things as well. You have to put the
Of
effort.
course.
Good life lesson from your parents. Well, awesome. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about that we haven't mentioned as far as your script or the process?
I think what you are doing is an absolute wonderful thing here in the city of Orlando. And I hope more people find out about it and help support you. And if there are any people who want a good investment and a good return on investment, to go ahead and look you up and be ready to move the film industry in Orlando forward again as it was once planned to do decades ago. And it's time to kickstart it again, get it going. And I think that you're a wonderful catalyst to try to get things moving again.
Thank
And
you
I
so
thank
much.
everybody involved in the collective. I appreciate so much being able to work with you.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. It's we have such amazing talent and such potential here. So being able to help boost that and, be on the groundwork of creating something new and exciting and that allows people to, express their talents and create stuff and make things. Yes, it's exciting. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. Well, awesome. So this is going to be May 26th, which is not this, which is a Monday, May 26th, also Memorial Day. So you have that in your calendar, 7 p.m. at Bynx Orlando. So check it out. You go to our website, allthelinestudio.com, to learn more information, allthelinestudio.com/Emerald Beach, for a specific page about our cast and to get tickets and all of that. And we hope to see everyone tuning in at the show. So thank you so much, Tina, for joining us, and we'll see you
Well,
soon.
thank you for having me. See you
All right.
soon.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Bye.